CCA is Maine's only volunteer-based grassroots organization dedicated to preserving our marine resources for everyone. So whether you like to fish, whether you like to walk your dog on the beach, or whether you like to look out across the ocean, I have an acute interest in any organization that is dedicated to preserving that terrific resource for us.
I can say that as a Mainer, as a father, and somebody who loves to recreate and really sees our marine resource here as just an asset to the state and enjoys it, being part of CCA allows me to help sustain that.
And this is one organization that is dedicated to trying to protect and save that resource. And it's just, as you can see, it's a wonderful and beautiful place.
What does CCA mean to me? Well, I think as much as anything else, it means advocacy for marine resources in Maine.
We want to stay as pure to our mission as possible. It's a conservational mission. We try to keep politics out of it, we try to keep emotion out of it, and it is about the resource, plain and simple.
Maine is a pretty interesting state. We have the longest coastline of any state on the eastern seaboard, and we have probably the least amount of public access. So one of our missions here has been to increase public access in any way that we can for people who fish, for people who paddle, for people who sail, and everybody who loves to go to the beach.
Most of our recent efforts have really been focused on forage species, things like river herring and menhaden, for a number of different reasons. Because of their ecological importance within the food chain. Yes, for fish like striped bass and bluefish and sharks and so on and so forth, but also birds of prey. They are an incredible link within the marine ecosystem, and it's also a very fragile link. Unfortunately, when populations of forage species are down, it's going to set off a reverberation throughout the marine ecosystem, and that's of great concern to myself and fellow board members as well as members.
Probably the main migratory fish for anglers in this state is the striped bass. And the striped bass now is in real trouble.
What's extremely startling is this, is throughout their range, the total recreational catch for striped bass throughout their entire range along the East Coast since 2006 has dropped 70%. Now Maine is even worse, it's near 90%. We're the canary in the coal mine. And you think about that, in just a few scant years, since '06 till today, the recreational catch has dropped 90%. That is staggering. And yes, we're losing a precious resource, but there's also socioeconomic impacts as well in the form of fewer tourists coming, which impacts everyone in the state of Maine, not just the tackle shops and the guides and so on and so forth, but those folks too. A number of guides have had to turn to alternative sources of income. Tackle shops have been closing. So you think of the implications, they're far-reaching. It goes way beyond just the loss of a precious resource. There's significant socioeconomic impacts as well.
I love fishing. I love recreating. I love taking my son out and catching a striper the last week in May every year. And for me, CCA is a vehicle that I can make sure that someday I'll be taking my grandson as well.
You know, I find great irony in that when we had a lot of fish, we seem to have a lot more members. And I noticed a direct correlation between the decline in the population of fish and the decline of our members. And really now, more than ever, is when we need members so we continue to do the great work that we do. There's truly strength in numbers, and we've seen that time and time and time again.
We're not talking here about preservation. We're not, to use the old-fashioned term, tree huggers. We are conservationists, and the conservationist is the person who wants to maintain, to properly manage a resource for everybody, because in fact they're public resources.
This is the only grassroots, nonprofit, 100% volunteer organization in the state of Maine that is in existence to protect this resource.
Well, CCA Maine is uniquely situated, and we're one of 2 New England chapters. In some respects, we're the outpost, just like we are on the end of the Striper Run. And people hear our voice. And one thing that's unique about people from Maine and our neck of the woods is not only is there a talent-rich pool of anglers and outdoor enthusiasts, but we have an ability to get our message across. And as we keep doing that in creative ways and partnering with other organizations in projects such as dam removal, fish passage issues, really looking at the science and working with policymakers, we set an example. And that's why, as an organization, I think it's important to me to be a part of that. And I would encourage anybody who likes to be out on the water or enjoys, the first stripers of the year that come in, I would encourage them to really look into what we do and our mission.